United Nations has made headlines in assisting nations through humanitarian windows. UN intervenes in different human conditions, including health, provision of food, shelter, and education. The introduction of HeForShe by UN Women is aimed at bridging the gender gap created by patriarchy. Introduced in Benue State in 2020, the program is coordinated by a seasoned teacher, mentor, and one of Benue's finest development experts, Mr. Nathaniel Awuapila.
It is a global movement that started about 7-8 years ago, led by the UN Women. And we have millions of people that have subscribed to be HeForShe. Just as the word says, men who stand for women. Men who believe that women have a place, have a voice, and that should be given the due opportunity to speak and be heard and to contribute their measure to the collective development of our society.
In capable hands, the agenda is set and the feedback is positive. Drawing actors from all walks of life, the program aims to set in play a gender-sensitive world in which the men are major players.
It was introduced to us formally in Benue State in the year 2020, in November precisely. That was when the HeForShe movement was launched in Benue State. During the last 20 months, we have been working to introduce the network to men, across the sectors of the state that believe in women equality like us.
He says HeForShe is about men who stand for women and who believe that the female gender has a stake in achieving our societal aims and objectives. The agenda is progressing. From few men who started in November of 2020, new members are inducted with much more to come in the coming months.
Today was an opportunity for the HeForShe champions to meet. And we used the opportunity to also induct additional members. We had about 13 traditional rulers joining us. We had 25 members of the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association, joining us today. Before today, we have had people from the media, and we've had people from the NGO sector, the private sector, and government institutions. The idea is to continue to build the movement, to create a momentum to be able to have a significant number, a critical mass that will speak for gender equality.
The custodians of culture in Benue State are some of the early actors that accepted the HeForShe campaign wholeheartedly. Here, the Ter Makurdi Chief Vincent Aule has led some of his subjects for induction. The council says the idea is noble for a just society.
Today, we are here for induction of the traditional leaders and the legal practitioners of this state. We felt that the people or the entire country include women in their decision and policies. And that is the campaign that we are launching for this state for about 2 years and 2 months back. The entire world is beginning to recognize the presence of women or inclusion of women in decision and policies. And I think that we have a long way to go with Nigerians if women are included in policies and decisions.
Former NBA chair, Makurdi branch Barrister Mike also says HeForShe has changed his perspective. With former chairman of Like Minds, they have produced the first female chairman of the bar in Makurdi.
The women have, over time, have spoken for themselves. But it is now time for the men to agitate for the rights of the women. We're not talking about the basic rights as inclusion of women in decision making, because in conflict situations, women are the most affected and children. They are the most vulnerable. If they are carried along, it will be better.
The Traditional Council says the lesson from HeForShe has been tested and the results have come out positive. These chiefs are not taking the opportunity for granted. They appeal to Nigerians to provide for support and involve women in decision making. This is a better way to go.
Doing whatever decision that you are taking, be sure and make it possible that women are also part of that decision. It will help us.
Mike also says as lawyers, they stand a good chance to advocate for rights of women for this to be achieved. he is optimistic that the agenda is realizable.
As lawyers, we feel that if we're talking about rights of women who want to fight discrimination, then there are certain legislations that must be addressed. The chieftaincy law of Benue State makes no provision for women to be included in the Council of Chiefs, and that is where we lawyers come in.
The state coordinator says it is a milestone to have the traditional rulers, lawyers, the media and other professionals join in the struggle.
Back in 2020, when the network was first introduced and we had the first set of people inducted, we had no less a man as the Ter Makurdi, who was among them, and a couple of other traditional leaders. And we've sustained communication with them over the past 20 months, asking the question, how can we strengthen the voice and the contribution of traditional institutions? Today, having 13 of them coming forward and saying, I am HeForShe. That's a big deal for us.
HeForShe is part of a global movement. The Ministry of Women Affairs is a major stakeholder in Benue State. With its non-adversarial approach, the campaign is gaining grounds. This is God's design for men and women. Societies have accepted women as partners in progress. These are doing quite well, socially, economically, and politically. The transmitter media feels before long, every man will voluntarily become a HeForShe.